That's been running the same like that for the last at least 2 years. So, anybody have any questions on this memo or the breakout there or anything?
Well, I do appreciate the memo, I have to say, thank you for this. Did you find that last year we always cover our cost to the municipality through the permits, but was there, do you have
Overage? Yes, there was
the overage?
I don't know exactly how much it was, honestly.
Right, it doesn't have to be exact, but was it real close or?
No, you had good overage this year.
Okay, because I know we've discussed this in the past with, I know there's like that 10% administrative addition in the breakdown in front of us. So the total per permit that we're looking at for next year based on this is $97.98.
Right, and you know, the admin fee is for, we do a lot of mailing, so part course for this publication, and then when we issue the actual permits, we mail them.
Right.
U.S. Postage mail, we don't do the email, we kind of only, it's not
Sure.
completely utilized for the email.
Right. So, I mean, I understand the purpose of the administrative costs, but considering obviously not every house puts out 750 pounds, and we like to go for round numbers with permit, you know, I'd like to see it down to maybe $90 a home.
It was 90 last year.
So to keep it the same as last
Well, it
year?
was 95.
No, it was 90 now. What happened was, you set it at 90 based on similar conversation this time of year we had last year. But then in June, Utilities Authority raised the rate, so the second pickup, you didn't have too much. That's why it's such a variation from last year. June, they sent us a notice saying, hey, we're raising the rate. They changed where you can bring the garbage, and so that's why it's such a big difference. I would recommend not shorten yourself $10 a permit, maybe like go to 95, and short yourself the difference between that.
Yeah, I definitely think we should keep it, you know, round numbers, obviously. If 90 is not possible, then maybe 95, but also I think for future years, maybe bulk can be a discussion of the Streets and Roads Committee and
Did you
see.
discuss it, okay.
Yes, actually, you know, we did discuss it last night, actually, in our meeting. I mean, we were okay, obviously, I mean, with the rate. I mean, it kind of is what it is. And, you know, we talked about the dates. I know, you know, the first round is always a lot more than the second one, but I still feel that we still need to have it too.
Okay.
Because obviously,
Okay, no problem.
Agreed.
So everybody's good with the dates on there, and the one to 95?
It can't be 90. It can't be the same as
Well, you
last
shorted
year.
yourself $7.98, and again, not every household puts out 750 pounds, so it kind of offsets it, but that's always a,
Has it offset the last 2 years? All right, so I don't see any reason why it can't stay at 90 if it's been offset the last 2 years. Obviously, you only need 1 year for it not to be offset for you to decide that it's got to be more.
Sure. What does everybody else think? I lean towards 90, no pun intended, with Eileen over here. But anyway, so.
I don't have any problem with that, Russ.
all right, so 90?
90.
At 90?
That's
All right.
fine.
There'll be resolution on your next agenda next time. You know, you have to do it by resolution, so we'll set the rate next week. So the only thing I have is, we set the reorg date, council sets the reorg date by resolution, so I did speak to the mayor, and I did suggest Monday, January 2nd, or Tuesday, January 3rd. He's okay with either. So, Paul, Monday or Tuesday, it's the week before the regular council meeting. You can't wait. Yeah, it has to be done for the first day, so the sooner the better, because I gotta post things and advertise things. And can't do it till after you reorg. So Monday or Tuesdays.
Well, is it Tuesday, the same night as the council meeting? We just have a council meeting the following week.
Correct.
You know, the candidate elects, you guys fine with the dates being proposed?
Tuesday, Monday the 2nd, or Tuesday the 3rd is either one is fine.
Whatever's, everyone else.
Monday? Fine, but either one's fine.
I mean, unless there's a, just to be consistent with the whole thing, I mean.
It's a good rationale.
All right, let's do this.
Tuesday.
Okay, so it's Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017, 7 o'clock, right here. That's all I have.
All right,
January 3rd,
any unfinished
Tuesday,
business
January 3rd.
people want to discuss? Any new business?
What do we refer to you as this evening? Are you councilman, are you mayor-elect, are you?
No, he's
what-
council
Hey,
president.
hey, it was fine.
Mayor
No,
pro tem.
Hey, you as well.
Council president, job description fills in for mayor, so he's still just.
Nothing for me, councilman.
Okay, thank you.
Don't call you president.
Oh, president, I'm sorry. President.
I need hair for that. All right, but the mayor did leave me 2 pages here to read on new business for him, so I guess I'll get into that. The Liquid Church of Garwood is participating in a Christmas outreach program on Saturday, December 3rd, 2016. All branches of the Liquid Church are working together to pack a record-breaking 500,000 meals in conjunction with their partner, the Food Bank of New Jersey. They will need a total of 3,000 volunteers to achieve this lofty goal, and they're hoping that the residents of Garwood would help them in support of this effort. The Liquid Church has been a great supporter of Garwood with their summer outreach program here in Borough Hall and at the Sports and Recreation Center. Please give them your support if you can on December 3rd. You can register at www.liquidchurch.com/Christmas outreach. Sessions for helping are at 9 a.m. to 10:45, 11:30 to 1:15 p.m., and 2 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. Also, the Garwood Girl Scout Troop 40929, 11th grade girls, will be conducting a leaf raking and snow shoveling community service program this fall and winter as a fundraiser for their troop. They're looking to help the community by bagging leaves and shoveling snow for a suggested donation of $10. Your generosity will be greatly appreciated. You can request their assistance by calling or texting their leader, Eva Perednia, at 908-251-4185. Flyers are available here on the table and at the library. They ask that residents supply the leaf bags, which can be obtained at the DPW building on South Avenue. Also, there will be a Friends of Colin Turkey Trot on Friday, November 25th. This 5K run walk at the Lexington Avenue side of Unami Park begins at 10 a.m. with registration from 8:15 to 9:45 a.m. Registration is $25 before November 11th and $30 after November 11th. The Friends of Colin Turkey Trot will support research into Ewing sarcoma, a pediatric bone cancer that claimed the life of a 16-year-old Colin Mayer, nephew of former Councilman Bill Nierstead. 100% of the proceeds will benefit the Friends of Colin, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Entry forms are available at Borough Hall. Last week, the fall edition of the Garwood Gazette was mailed to all Garwood residents from the Cranford Post Office. The mayor personally contacted the Cranford postmaster to ensure that our mailers are being delivered accurately. If you have not received a Garwood Gazette in the mail by now, please contact Borough Hall 789-0710 to tell them that you did not receive it. The mayor will follow up with the Cranford Post Office. Extra copies of the Gazette are available at the Borough Hall and at the Garwood Library. This Saturday, November 9th or November 19th is Mayor Saturday. Stop in for a chat or bring your questions and comments to the mayor at 11 a.m. in council chambers. Councilman Joe Sarno will also be in attendance. All right. Okay, comments or matters for discussion from members of council. Councilwoman Kukrow.
I think we made this week, thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Martin? Nothing? Councilman Sarno?
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over you. Councilman Matthew?
Yeah, nothing for me, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Councilman Sarno?
No, nothing for me. I mean, it's a quiet day. The only thing I could recommend, maybe in the future, I mean, you have the league going on right now down in Atlantic City. A lot of people are down there. Maybe considering moving this meeting next year to another date.
It's generally not this date, it was because of the election.
I know. We can tinker with it if it falls in that
It
case.
doesn't.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the rest of my.
Doesn't next year.
You rest
Cool.
your case.
This is a
Yeah,
rare.
I'm just making sure, you
This is
know?
a rare thing, because 5 Tuesdays in November this year.
Correct.
All right, great. Councilwoman Tedesco?
Thank you, Council President. I have 2 items. One is a reminder that the Garwood Lions Club annual pancake breakfast is this weekend on Sunday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the Westwood. Tickets are $7 and they can be purchased at the door. Children under 6 years old are free. And the second item I have, a resident brought this to my attention and asked that I mention this at tonight's council meeting, that a longtime Garwood resident, Mary Estewaz, she passed away, she was 83, Garwood resident for more than 50 years, and she went through some tough circumstances in life. Her husband passed away when she was just 48 years old, and she raised their 3 children by herself, and she also played a very active role for the youth as a participant in the PTA and also in Girl Scouts. And she also was the executive secretary for the Union County Regional High School District for several years. So I just wanted to make mention of that passing, so thank you.
Thank you. I have something here. I just want to mention that on Sunday, November 20th at 1 p.m., the Garwood Knights of Columbus is having a Thanksgiving dinner with Monsignor Walsh, and that's from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and that's at 37 South Avenue in Garwood. Also, this Saturday, November 19th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., the St. Anne's Parish and Knights of Columbus is hosting a blood drive, and that's at 325 2nd Avenue in Garwood. I know the last time that we had a meeting over at the school, that was something that was, pretty big, because I guess the blood bank is in, dire need of blood for people. So if you guys, have a chance to do that, that's, that'd be great. Okay, moving on. Okay, public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the mayor and council? Please step up to the microphone, sign in, state your full name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Mayor Pro Tem. Instead of saving time, it was just that $10 per house on the leaf raking,
Yeah.
or the $10 per scout.
It just says a suggested donation of $10. I wouldn't assume it would be for home. But
It was
if you
for
want-
home.
Yeah.
She came to the senior kid.
Okay. Okay, anybody? Nobody else? No comment? Okay. Guess we can move to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. You guys want to just go right into the regular meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, please stand for a moment of silence and salute the flag.
Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader and to the Union County local source, advertised on January 7, 2016. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and prominently posted on the municipal public bulletin board and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, informing the public of the time and place according to provisions of Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231 of Public Law 1975. Please silence your cell phones at this time if you have them. Roll call, Ms. Ariano.
Mayor Lombardo? Councilwoman Kukrow?
Here.
Councilman Martin?
Here.
Councilman Matthew?
Here.
Councilman Sarno?
Here.
Councilman Tedesco?
Here.
And Council President Petrozelli.
Here. May I have a motion to suspend the regular order of business to hold public hearing on Union County Community Development Block Grant Proposal for year 43 as advertised on November 3rd, 2016.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Have you received any applications or correspondence?
None.
Does anyone wish to be heard concerning the CDBG application?
I should just yell. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Just my standard annual question is, are these numbers any different than last year?
My requests aren't different, my awards are always different, but my requests are always.
Okay, but are these the same awards as last year? Is this an award number?
No, that's what I'm asking for.
So you don't know.
I'm certainly not going to get any of those numbers.
All right. I guess when the mayor mentions applications,
Because some organizations can submit applications for funding through community development, like the Y, and then to submit it to the mayor and council. To me, and it would be part of this, but Garwood never gets any, but other towns do.
all right. Is there any outreach program from the borough to the organizations, asking them if they want to do any
I think
applications?
community development does that. We don't,
And the historic committee kind of?
no, they're not eligible for any funding.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? I may have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay. May I have a motion to submit applications?
I'll make that motion as well.
Second as well.
May I have a motion to resume the regular order of business?
So moved. Second.
Second. Minutes, please, Ms. Arian.
Regular workshop and executive session minutes of the mayor and council held on October 25th, 2016.
Are there any corrections or changes? May I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
So,
Second.
Ms. Arian, communications, please.
New Jersey State League Municipalities Mayor's Advisory,
Received and filed.
Florida Valley Sewage Authority minutes,
Received and filed.
Florida Valley Sewage Authority meeting notice,
Received and filed.
Bruce Patterson's suggestion for street banners that support first responders versus street line painting,
Received and filed.
Nancy Matern, Woodward Church, winter outreach information,
Received and filed. Public hearing on ordinance 16-17 as advertised on October 27, 2016. Ms. Ariema, please read ordinance 16-17 by title only.
An ordinance fixing the salaries and wages for the Department of Public Works of the Borough of Broward and the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
Have you received any correspondence concerning ordinance 16-17?
None.
Does anyone present wish to be heard concerning ordinance 16-17? Bruce Patterson.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Bruce Patterson, 325 Villa Avenue. I noticed retroactive, effective January 1st, 2016. How come it's retroactive? What happened here?
We just settled the contract, and we've been negotiating for a year,
Well, more than a year.
a little more than a year. But their contract expired December 31st, 2016.
I mean, you were at obviously loggerheads at that point, right?
Sorry?
You're saying you were, I guess there were contentious issues.
No, we just moved slow. I think we worked things out quite nicely. Councilman Darno was involved, and Councilman Piccioli, and
Yes.
someone else. I forget the other person. Mike, sorry, Mike.
This obviously was collective bargaining.
Yes.
Thank you.
Nobody else? May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance 16-17?
So moved.
Second. Second. May I have a motion to adopt 16-17?
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 16-17.
second.
Any discussion? No. Roll call, Ms. Ariano?
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Tedesco.
Aye.
And Council President Pepperzoli.
Aye. Ms. Arian, please read ordinance 16-18 by title only.
Yes, an ordinance to establish a restricted parking zone pursuant to NJSA 39:4-197.6 in front of 250 Willow Avenue in the Borough of Berlin.
May I have a motion to introduce 16-18?
So,
Second. Roll call, Ms. Arian.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Tedesco.
Aye.
And Council President Pepitone.
Aye. Council standing committee reports, police, Councilman Sarno.
No report this evening.
Okay, thank you. Public health, Councilwoman Kukrow.
No report this evening, we're supposed to be having our meeting tomorrow, so.
All right, streets, roads, and ecology, that's me. Okay. Department of Public Works completed their regular reoccurring activities from October 26th to November 14th. In addition, the miscellaneous activities were clear the debris and leaves from the tops of all stormwater drain inlets on the north and south side of the borough in preparation of forecasted rain. Begin to inspect and perform repairs and preventative maintenance on all snow removal and de-icing equipment. Perform bag leaf pickup on a daily basis on the north and south side of the borough. Dispose of the bag leaves at the Union County Conservation Center in Springfield. Excavate and abandon stormwater sewer and remove sections of broken pipe fronting the YMCA on East Street to alleviate a reoccurring sinkhole. Continue to clean up the leaves at Borough Hall and borough-owned properties. Continue to elevate and prune shade trees throughout the borough. Prepare the Georgiana Memorial for Veterans Day ceremony. Residents are reminded that bag leaves will be picked up at curbside as follows: the north side of the borough, the week of November 21st and December 5th. The south side of the borough, the remainder of this week and the week of November 28th. Residents are also reminded that loose leaves are not permitted in the street, but may be placed curbside in covered receptacles no larger than 32 gallons as an alternate to bag leaves. That's all for my report. Okay. All right, I'll make sure. Okay, fire, Councilwoman Kukrow.
Thank you. Fire activities for the past period of October: 6 alarm activations, 1 fire in an oven, 1 odor of gas, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 1 motor vehicle fire, 1 motor vehicle fuel leak, 1 substance in the brook, 1 assist PD debris in brook, 1 wire down, 1 mutual aid Roselle Park, 10 hours. Total man hours 163, all alarms. October meeting 22 men, 33 hours. Drill, hose, evolution, standpipe and pump operations at the point, 15 men, 30 hours. General cleanup, 18 men, 100 hours. I don't know what that is. Refurbish, 5 G15 hose testing, building and grounds maintenance. Extra duty, attached hydrants, flags, 5 men, 10 hours. Public service, fire prevention week, Home Depot, 5 men, 30 hours. Open house, 8 men, 40 hours. Lincoln School, 8 men, 64 hours. Boy Scout tour of headquarters, 3 men, 6 hours. Halloween parade, 6 men, 10 hours, for a total of 150 man hours. Also, the fire committee hereby approves the membership application for Sean McNellis, 74th Avenue in Garwood. Mr. McNellis has passed the physical and background requirements, and that is all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to do that?
Everybody added on to that one?
You don't have it. I have it totally.
You don't have to.
Did you want me to dig it
No,
out?
no, no.
Okay, buildings and grounds, Councilman Matthews.
Yeah, just real quick, it's not a,
There,
I'm sorry, I skipped over.
Okay.
that's okay. No report for finance, thank you.
Sorry, buildings and grounds, Councilman Matthews.
Okay, just to confirm, I received from the clerk shortly before the meeting to confirm the actual cost for the mold remediation of the conference room is $6,323, and we're going to receive the entire amount minus $1,000 deductible from our insurer. So that was along the lines of what we had expected. Just want to confirm that for everybody. It's good news.
Great.
That's it. That's all from my report.
Thank you. Laws and licenses, Councilman Martin.
no report.
Recreation, Councilman Martin. Okay. Garwood Senior Citizen Liaison, Councilwoman Kukrow.
Thank you. I do have just a quick one. Dr. Bernard Torrell Eschhaig from Robert Wood Johnson gave a fantastic presentation concerning the annual physical for seniors. He spoke about what types of testing is needed based on individual needs. He also spoke about what vaccines are also required. This was a very comprehensive presentation with a 25-page slideshow. So if anyone needs further info or a copy of the entire presentation, I'm happy to print it for you and distribute. Carol Lombardo spoke on behalf of the Historical Society, the memorial service for Garwood Purple Heart recipients this past Saturday. Paul F., the senior director, spoke for a few minutes, just really checking in to see how crafts were going and if anyone had any questions or concerns. Councilman Petrozelli already brought up the Girl Scouts, so I can omit that. Another reminder that the senior Christmas party is December 1st at the Westwood. We had pizza for lunch and pizzella ice cream sandwiches. It was very tasty. That's all for my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Library, me, okay. Library report. On November 3rd, over 65 people enjoyed Adelante Alliance's celebration of the Day of the Dead at the library. Everyone liked the craft, stories, and food. Adelante Alliance will also conduct a Spanish language computer class this week. The class covers computer basics like internet searches and email. Both of these programs were presented at no cost to the library. On November 15th at 3 p.m., kids crafters will be making Thanksgiving turkeys, and adult crafters will be making turkey potpourri on the 22nd. On November 21st, a Garwood Boy Scout troop will be setting up a small school supply pantry in the library. The pantry will be open to all Garwood school children in need of pens, pencils, paper, and etc. The library will also be collecting dog and cat food, cleaning supplies, pet toys, and other items for the Clinkfield Area Humane Society. Collections will continue through the holiday season. Visit or call the library for details. 3 new public computers and a new color printer have been installed at the library. The new computers were purchased with funds provided by the Freeholder Grant. The old computers and printer were donated after board approval to the Senior Village at Garwood. The library will also continue with its regular programs, including the Knitting Club every Monday and Thursday at 10:30 a.m., the Book Club Monday, November 21st at 1 p.m., bilingual knitting class every Tuesday at 10 a.m., story time every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m., Brixology every Wednesday at 3 p.m. through the 16th, the Lego Club Thursday, November 17th at 3 p.m., movie time every Friday at 10 a.m. The Garwood Library is open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays from 9 a.m. to 4:30, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The library will close at 4:30 on the day before Thanksgiving and will remain closed until Sunday, or Saturday, November 26th, for the Thanksgiving holiday. That's all for my report. School Board Liaison, Councilman Sarno.
No report this evening, but Into the Woods, the play, will be going on Friday and Saturday, so please get over to Lincoln School and check it out and support our youth. Thank you so much. That's all I have.
All right, great, thank you. Celebration of Public Events and Holiday Liaison, Councilwoman Tedesco.
Thank you, Council President. The Celebrations Committee held the annual pumpkin decorating contest on November 29th, and about 25 people entered the contest. The number of participants in this event has been growing each year, which is great to see. The winners of the Halloween house decorating contest were first place to the Sullivan household on 3rd Avenue, second place to the Reg household on Union Street, and third place to the Andiola household on Hickory. Congratulations to all the winners. Another house decorating contest is right around the corner with the holiday contest. So you may enter your home up until December 15th by emailing garwoodcelebrations@garwood.org. Additionally, the committee is excited to bring back the sale of luminaries this year. Information about what is included in the kits and where to drop off the order form and payment is on the Garwood Celebrations Facebook page. Also, a flyer will be delivered to each home in the next week or so. And we hope that many residents will help us bring back this fun Garwood tradition. That's all for my report.
All right, thank you. Union County Air Traffic Noise Advisory Board Representative, Councilman Matthews.
No report.
Administrative Review Committee, Councilwoman Tedesco.
No report.
Historical Committee, Councilwoman Tedesco.
Thank you. The Historical Committee presented yet another successful event for the borough this past Saturday with the Purple Heart Memorial Program, which marked the 5th anniversary of the installation of this monument. About 75 people attended the program, which included speeches from Mayor Lombardo, former Mayor Kutraki, Commander James Hill of the Union County Chapter 28 Military Order of the Purple Heart, Monsignor Ron Marzuski, the pastor of the Church of St. Anne in Garwood, gave the benediction. In retrieving the names of Garwood residents who earned the Purple Heart, the committee found that inclusion in the Purple Heart database is voluntary. So in the process, the committee understood that they simply would not be able to find all of the names. However, the names they did find were mostly located through research in the Garwood Words, a newsletter printed by Garwood residents for our servicemen during World War II. The names the committee found there were listed and read at the ceremony. After the ceremony, residents came up to the committee and added even more names, which included Joseph Castaldo, Albert Losches, John Lombardo, Bill Prish, Leonard Bernowski, and Paul Bataloro. Thank you to all the servicemen and women who put their lives in danger to protect our freedoms. And on another note, the Historical Committee looks forward to taking a more active role in the near future in order to record the history of our borough. And that's all for my report.
Thank you. Parking Committee, Councilman Sarno.
Thanks, Mayor. No report, but we are meeting Thursday at 7 o'clock. That's it.
Okay, excellent, thank you. Ms. Ariana, please read the officers' reports.
Zoning Code Enforcement Officer Leslie Stefano, monthly report for September and October 2016. And Municipal Court Administrator LaShawn Durant, monthly report for October 2016.
May I have a motion to accept the officers' reports as presented?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the mayor and council? Please step up to the microphone and state your full name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
I'll go last. Mr. McCormick?
No. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Petrozelli, ladies and gentlemen, the council, Bruce Patterson, 325 Monroe Avenue. Last meeting, I did ask about this letter I sent back in September that had about 18 questions. Unfortunately, the mayor's not here, but at the public hearing of the council over at the school, he said he would answer them. Unfortunately, he's not here to actually respond, but I mean, I still have this letter outstanding that the mayor did say he would be answering the public's questions at that meeting at the school. So, I mean, this letter still is outstanding. And I'm just wondering what the status is. I mean, everybody obviously has the letter and I'm sure read the question. So, I mean, does anybody have any comment, like it's not going to be answered or you don't know? Or?
Well, I do know that in speaking with Mayor Lombardo, he said that he still is working on those questions for you.
Oh, okay.
So he's still not finished, so I think that's the reason why you haven't heard back yet.
All right. And by the way, I guess the mayor's down at the League of Municipalities. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
Yes.
And just some questions on these ordinances. They're interesting, this meeting. Resolution 16-293, looks like closing out of accounts, and there's some money left in the capital fund balance, and I guess the capital improvement fund. I guess there's two different funds listed. But I mean, these monies, I would assume, are going into surplus towards next year's budget and the operating cost of the borough? Is that what happens to these monies?
No, everybody got a memo on that?
Mhm.
Everybody have a memo on
I actually
that?
have it. Ms. Ariana, you want it?
No, do you
Or-
want to share on what exactly?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. So our CFO treasurer, Sandy Bruns, gave us all a memo on this, Mr. Patterson. So basically, there's a state statute that recommends that municipalities do this with their unexpended balances in capital improvement authorizations like this. So basically canceling out what hasn't been spent. So it's really to kind of clean up the books, make sure they're in line, but it doesn't actually create any additional cash balance in the capital fund or tax impact wise. There's nothing. It's really bookkeeping.
So wouldn't it for these projects, wouldn't the money have been set aside? And if it's unspent, then it is set aside somewhere?
Not really. We authorize a bond ordinance of whatever amount, let's make it up, $100,000. And if we don't spend it to the T, which oftentimes we don't, we get close but not exact, then we spend what it costs. So if it costs $96,000, that's what we spend. So on the books, basically, the difference has to get accounted for a certain way.
But if you bond it,
The bonding doesn't actually borrow the money, it just authorizes the borrow. We
Yeah.
actually borrow what we spend.
Right, that's the key. We actually borrow what we spend.
Right.
so the bond sets aside money though, somehow, when you, no?
It just authorizes us to borrow money. We
Mhm.
don't actually borrow money.
Is it a revolving credit line, like?
No, it just authorizes to borrow money, and then once a year, we actually borrow the money, we actually do it based on what we spend. So then, when you create a bond ordinance for these amounts, these are leftover money is not gonna get spent, so you cancel it. You didn't actually spend
You
it.
didn't use the money that was allocated that you wanted, pretty much.
Yeah,
Right.
bond ordinance is just a,
You're only going to
Just a-
spend what you need.
Right.
Right.
I'm still confused, but I will continue on.
I'd be happy to talk to you about it more.
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
One-on-one. Sure.
Well, I guess an annual audit's coming up to $46,000.
Well, we audit every year, by law, we have to.
Yeah, I thought the CFO suggested that we audit every 2 years.
It's not her suggestion or her decision. The state government says you audit every year, it's state law.
And I thought the last number I saw was 40,000 or 42, so I guess it went up. Is that what it is?
It went up a couple bucks from last year, it doesn't, I don't have last year's economy, so it goes up a little bit every year, just like everything else in the world.
Except to pay.
Yeah.
Except to pay.
Thank you for adding that.
You're welcome.
But anyway, okay, thank you very much, and I'll talk to Councilwoman Tedesco another time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any resolutions anyone wants deleted from the consent agenda?
I'd like to delete 16-297, please.
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Tedesco.
Aye.
And Council President Petroselli.
Aye.
Now you're going to make a motion to adopt 16-297.
Okay. I make a motion to adopt 16-297.
Are you making the motion or you need someone to?
May I have a
Yes.
Okay, all right.
You made it?
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt ordinance
Yeah.
or resolution 16-297? And
Okay. I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 16-297.
second? Second. Aye.
Okay, now, discussion, or if there's no discussion, then roll call.
Okay, any discussion on 16-297?
Yeah, the only thing is, I think we should be going with the other firms. I'm going to be voting no on this resolution. I feel they're going to come in cheaper by a couple grand, so quite simply, I will be voting no on this and reintroducing a new resolution to, if possible, depending on how this bill goes, to settle the other one.
Yeah, I just want to follow along with Councilman Sarno. I too will be voting no on this. I'd like to see we've had Suffolk Lane for a real long time here, and I would like to see the other, I remember for years sitting up here, and we only got one bid. I remember that being the cause of much consternation of other elected officials. The fact that we finally have somebody interested 2 years in a row and they have a comparable expense, I think it would be really great for taxpayers if we get a new set of eyes in here. So I too will be voting no. No no disrespect to Suffolk County, but I just think it would be in the taxpayers' interest to have a new set of eyes.
I agree, and there was a report by the comptroller of New Jersey a few years back that talked about you shouldn't have the same water 10 years in a row. You try not to do that. There's no set law, but they recommend that you do this kind of thing. So I'm going to stick with that. And recommend that we change it. I mean, I was an auditor, came up as one. You definitely want to change some of these things.
We never had bids before.
It's a blessing to always have competitive bids. I mean, we've had it come up in various different capacities.
Can I make a suggestion on this? So maybe we can possibly all agree on the resolution. Is there any way, because I know there's a differential in the price, but I don't think that's to be the case. Is there any way we could do a letter to the company stating that they will be written in stone exactly what the proposal is on the actual bid? Because their bid in there was less money. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Well, no, not just the cap. It's a matter of what they quoted in there, because this was adjusted based on things that weren't included in their bid. So if it wasn't included in their bid, then maybe there's something we don't know.
Right.
It was priced out. Their proposal priced out the audit, and the rest is à la carte. So it's by the hour, and you can't ask them to now change their proposal. That violates the fair and open process. So
No, I don't want to ask them to change their proposal. I want to ask them to guarantee their bid that they put in their original proposal.
They don't have to guarantee that. What they put in writing is a guarantee. Once you award it, that's a guarantee. It's just that they didn't put all the other items in their proposal. So you have to assume that they're hourly. You don't have to assume, actually, it says it on there. It says it right on there that the rest is going to be an hourly cost, and their hourly costs are higher than the other proposer. And so that's just a fair estimate based on the hours involved that we know. I think that we're being a little generous there. I think we're actually being more.
If I may speak to the subject, but also as well for the benefit of the public. So we've had 2 proposals for auditing services, and then our CFO did an analysis of those based on their proposals, and no, we can't contact vendors directly and get them to change it or add to it. That would violate the fair and open process, as Ms. Ariema pointed out. But the point is, with a look through an analysis at the 2 proposals, our CFO determined that Suppley Clooney, which is our current auditing firm, their actual cost is $49,900. And they know the service they're providing to the borough. They've been our auditor for some time now. And also, for example, they don't charge us if any council person or mayor wants to contact them and ask them questions. They always take those calls at no charge. HFA was the other company, and based on the hours that Suppley puts into the work they do, the CFO determined that the cost could be upwards of $15,000 more than Suppley Clooney, and so that's why, in looking at the analysis, in reading the cost proposal of both, I think Suppley was very well ironed out what they'll charge us, and from the budgeting perspective, I think it's really important that for the taxpayers we know what that is. And also with the other firm, the HFA here, they're assuming their proposal based on what they, see from the outside looking in, assuming no unexpected things come up. But that would be, first go at it for them. So it's uncharted water, which, Councilman Sardo, if you have that article about changing auditing firms, I'm not opposed to it. I would love to read that same thing and, think about it. But when it comes to this year and looking at this analysis, I really feel it's in the best interest of the taxpayers to stick with a company that's been good to Garwood and fair, and if there are issues, they write that as recommendations in our audit to let us know of areas we can improve. So it's not like they're just saying, Garwood's 100% perfect all the time. They are looking at it fairly and objectively. So with that said, I'm comfortable voting yes for this.
Well,
Thank you.
I think I'm also comfortable with keeping with what we have as far as Suppley, just because of the fact that we need to listen to our own professionals too, who do their own analysis of these proposals, and HFA is coming in at, just over $64,000, whereas Supple's at the $49,900. And I think that that's pretty well ironed out. And I'm not in the, I'm not comfortable with just trying somebody else, just to try somebody else when it's right in front of us that it's going to be $15,000 or more cost. So I'm perfectly fine with staying with the lower one.
Well, with all due respect, I disagree with the analysis. I don't think it'll be that much higher. I actually think it'll be a couple grand less. That proposal won't be inclusive of it. It's just helping out the financials that's included in the audit. So with all due respect to the professionals that put it together, and I appreciate it. I always like comparing different things and people's perspective, but I'm going to just disagree.
Joe, it's a lot more than just helping out with financials. It's actually comparing the statements.
I know
It's
that.
not just helping out. It's they compare all the statements, the financial, the debt, and the budget.
I understand
Those
that.
are a lot of that's a lot of work. It's not just helping out. It's more than that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say on that, I too found the analysis to be speculative. But let me assume for purposes of argument that it was dead on. Let's say it is 15,000. We're talking about $15,000 in a $7.8 million budget to get a new set of eyes from an established accounting firm in here. And I just think that, no disrespect to the staff, but there is an inherent conflict of interest when you're having people choose their own auditors. You go ahead, you get a new set of eyes. I mean, heck, I like Warren Korecki and Bill Switcher. I think those guys are great. Got to know them over the years. But I would really love to see somebody else come in here and just give a different set of eyes, because I think you can't help but become enculturated year after year. And even though it may be a bit more work for our staff internally, I think it accrues to the benefit of the taxpayers. Even if you assume $15,000 over divided by a $7.8 million budget, the rounding error. So again, that reinforces, even if the analysis were true, in part or in whole, that still doesn't dissuade me from voting no on this.
I just want to clarify, I hope there isn't a misconception that the staff is choosing the auditing firm. The power is with this council, with who we choose. So the staff is our staff, she's our CFO, she was asked to prepare an analysis, she did one last year, so she did one this year. And I think that, it's important for them to give that analysis, and it's up to us as a governing body to make the decision and to make the choice. It's, I think, improper to say that they're choosing their own auditor. They're preparing an analysis, they're showing it to us. Ultimately, the decision's with us, so.
I mean, because the thing is, on their proposal, it was a lot less money, so this was all added on. So basically, I'm just asking a
Right.
question. So doesn't that mean that their proposal was edited?
I wouldn't necessarily say a lot less money, because
It was changed, because we said we couldn't, was it not changed by you, I'm asking.
We
You
didn't
basically-
change the proposal.
You changed the amount of money their proposal was based on mitigating circumstances on what you felt wasn't included, am I correct?
Well, the request proposal asked you to price those items out. They did not individually price those items out. They priced out one item and said the rest is by the hour. It says right on the proposal. So the other services, they're going to charge us by the hour. If the council feels strongly they want to award to a company that's almost $15,000 more, that's their choice, but you will have to budget for that. You can't underfund that line item, assuming that it's going to be less. It's going to have to be budgeted at that number. And
That's why I
and I believe that that's generous. I believe it will be more than that.
That's why, well, like I said, this is my first year doing it. This is not my thing. I'm not an
Well, I
auditor.
gave you the request for proposals.
Right, right.
You saw it in there, then it
I
asked
did.
to price
I
out
did.
those
It
items.
asked for individual items to be included in their proposal. So if they didn't do what was in there, it's a hit or miss type of thing here.
You
I'm
can't
like,
hit or miss.
well, I understand that, but the thing is, I'm like vacillating between yes and no, because basically, their bid was changed based on,
That's a pretty strong statement.
no, well, it was. Well, what, wasn't it? Wasn't
No.
their bid 43,000 and change?
Just for the
No.
audit part, that's
Right.
one facet of the whole service.
Okay.
Okay, so they're gonna charge you $43,000 for one facet. The rest of the
Ambiguous
actions
facet.
are by the hour. And their firm has 5 registered municipal accountants, so they have $6 million in public contracts. So that means that those 5 people have to manage all those contracts. So you know when you have your auditors at your budget hearings, you won't have a registered municipal accountant, you'll have a staff member. They charge $200 an hour for the registered municipal accountant.
How do we know that?
Well, you know, then you're gonna pay $200 an hour for something that was priced out by self-including for $2,675. They'll be here for, you have at least 2 public budget meetings and private with finance, several meetings at $200 an hour. You're over $26.75, way over. It's gonna be about $17,000 for budget preparation. They prepare the entire document. We had to figure out how many hours does that work consist of. They didn't put that in there. They didn't price those items out.
So it was an incomplete application.
I don't know.
It's how they want to write it.
Yes,
It's ultimately
it said in the proposal.
where the power is.
Lumps
I know,
on
I
it,
know.
or
Not sure.
Well,
price it out by the
we
hour.
put out the proposal, but they respond in how they respond.
But if
So
it's
that's why the
incomplete-
cost proposals are written differently.
If it's incomplete, then it would have been rejected. That's wrong to say. So
Right,
it's
I
not
didn't say it was
incomplete.
incomplete.
It's
Was
not
it
incomplete. It's not
incomplete?
incomplete. It's not incomplete at all.
It
But
wasn't incomplete.
it's not incomplete, they're
No,
just,
did you?
they're
I
just
did, I
different.
read it.
So it says on page 25, the audit's 43,000, the rest of the items are by the hour.
Yeah. And listen, I don't think it makes people bad people. If you're a staffer working here, it's gonna cause you to have more work. You're gonna have to get a new auditing firm up to speed. And what they don't want is they don't wanna do that. All right, people have their relationships and they wanna go ahead and do what they want. What I'm saying to you is, when it comes to auditing, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I think Councilman Sarner can tell us better than anyone, but having been an attorney working in corporate finance, well, you need a different set of auditors, and you get too cozy with your auditors, they call that the 1990s. That's not good. So again, no casting no aspersions on the staff or self-including. I just think that even if, let's assume arguendo, that it is $15,000 more, that is worth it to get an extra set of eyes in here. Who knows? Maybe they could discover things that could save us X amount of dollars going forward. But we'll never know that. And I think every bid that they put in, I think it's safe to say you're going to find an additional analysis from the staff saying it's going to cost you more than that, even if they are the low bid. I think we got to push against the status quo on this a little bit.
Can I make a suggestion then? I mean, I would be willing to vote yes on this tonight if going forward for next year, we put bids out that are for a longer period of time to get a new set of eyes in here.
You can only do
Because,
it for 1 year. Professional services, only do it for 1 year.
no, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about when you put the bids out for these proposals.
It doesn't
So
matter.
give more time.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
I'll try to get it.
I have a problem with somebody, the same person, as we have new council people, as we have a new president, sometimes you do need a new set of eyeballs. Sometimes they get stale, sometimes it's old. Sometimes new eyeballs can actually see something, maybe somebody that's been doing it for so long. How long have they been doing this for Garwood? How long, does anybody know?
Very, very long time.
20 years, 25, 15?
And all I'm saying is that there's an opportunity cost. They haven't been here for close to 6 years now. There is an opportunity cost for saying no to them because you may not get other bids. People, hey, listen, you know the way the industry is, right? People might say, that's Suffolk Clooney's borough. I'm not going there anymore. So I think we just need to go ahead and get a new set of eyes in here, even if it does wind up being $10,000 to $15,000 more, which I don't think it will be. It's a very small price to pay because they could go ahead and give a different perspective on what goes on here. And I think that that's very, very valuable. Even if we wanted to go back to Suffolk Clooney the next year, I just think getting one audit by one different firm in there does two things. It gives you a different perspective, and then the other thing is it shows the world out there this is not a captured borough. That we actually will look at your bids when they come in, and we will award to the low bidder, and we will take into account if you're a newbie. So I think you get that all from that statement. So, with all due respect, I mean, opening the period doesn't really do anything because if people think, hey, listen, that's Suffolk's borough, they won't award it to anybody else. You're not going to get anything.
Well, then we wouldn't have gotten the other bid this year then, if that was the case.
correct. Councilwoman, I definitely support your suggestion to go out for a longer period of time. Also, too, one of the concerns I've heard you talk about on this dais a lot is taxpayer dollars.
Mhm.
And so what it also comes down for me with looking at the analysis and looking at the two cost proposal pages. Supply Clooney, everything is itemized out. They know what they get here, they know how to price it, we know how to budget it. It's $49,900. Then HFA is $43,000 for the audit plus $3,500 for, I don't know, the deferred compensation plan. So that's $46,500. So we're talking about a difference here, conservatively, of $3,400. But the difference as well is there's a lot of uncharted water with going with the HFA, as has been explained. Maybe it will cost us $15,000 more, maybe even more than that. Also, Supply, in preparing this, they provide us every detail, right down to putting in writing, which holds them accountable. It makes them guarantee to us that telephone consultation as needed with not just us elected officials, but also with the administration, with Ms. Ariema, with Ms. Bruns, anyone else that needs to talk to them, no charge, it's written in there. It's not like that with HFA. I think it's a lot of uncharted territory, and it could cost the taxpayers more in the long run that way.
Well, that's because they've been doing it for so long, they should be able to just rubber stamp the whole thing.
Well, no, they should not rubber stamp the whole thing. They have guidelines and laws they need to follow, and that's why when they provide us with our audit, we can see where they'll say, look, this has been a weakness, and the Finance Committee, Ms. Ariema, Ms. Bruns, we talk about it, they convey the message to the staff, hey, we need to work on this area, so they're really not a rubber stamp, you know. They're held accountable too, so.
Yeah, and just on that point, I think you have a great point, Eileen. This year they had no exceptions in their audit statement. So this is an opportunity here to make a change for that reason as well, because as per Supply Clooney, this year we actually achieved a clean bill of health. I remember every time I was up here, they always talked about the encumbrance system. Well, finally this year we got it right. So it's the first year that I remember that clean bill of health being given. Let's give somebody else a shot.
Hey, we also interviewed a lot of other companies too when it came to bidding. I just don't, and now we can't contact them. I don't understand the full complexity of as to why we can't reach out to HFA and really get some kind of clarity on it. I mean, I don't want a legal opinion that's going to cost thousands of dollars. I want an answer.
I can give you a legal opinion on why you can't contact them, if that's what you're asking for.
I'd like to hear
Okay,
for the public.
I'll hear
Well,
that.
I mean, what's the wording? How can you do that? Could we?
Because then-
we interview people, right? And we discuss rates. We did.
That's true.
We did.
They have it in writing, they're not changing it.
Can we hear the legal opinion
Yeah,
from
let's-
Catherine?
The problem is, and I think Ms. Ariana alluded to it, in a fair and open process, you receive their bid, you receive their responses, you have their responses in front of you. You can't ask them to explain it and provide additional information, because what that's doing is providing an amended, they're actually providing a new application. They're stuck with what they've submitted.
So like I said, I mean, where we are now is this is gonna have to be done. I mean, can we put forward a different system next year to get
Yes.
somebody new in here?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Can you, what say you, Councilman?
We can do it.
I'm talking about, you didn't speak concerning this yet.
No, I've been thinking about it, and Supply Clooney has done a great job for us. There isn't any exception. There's been different people working it. It hasn't been the same people. Different people have looked at it over the years. There isn't any reason in my mind why we should go with someone different, somebody new, who has an unclear proposal in terms of what we're gonna do. This council had such angst over every dollar we spent. We looked at pennies, we squeezed a nickel until it screamed. Now, all of a sudden, because we think it's gonna make a difference, which it may not, we're gonna spend 15 grand just off the top of our heads to make this thing look, you know, different pair of eyes. We don't know if it's gonna make any difference. Do we have another $15,000-$20,000 if it costs that? I don't think we do.
It's a tax increase.
If it comes in less, will you thank me?
Yeah.
Right.
If it did,
Because I made that vote.
you think
Or
that's...
save something.
Well, based off what we're seeing, it's not going to come in much, so.
I mean, I don't know, I mean, like I said, I really believe that we need somebody new in here. Like, I believe the term limits for our government.
Then vote
These-
no, because you gotta remember, Eileen, next year you're gonna get the process you get and you're gonna like it.
But I can't,
No,
you know,
that's not true.
I can't say that. I mean, I'm looking for some kind of guarantee
I-
that we can try and get somebody new in here for next year.
Cost money, but that's what you want.
Sure. Let's talk about it even earlier next year.
You have a
Sure.
chance, you have a chance to do it now. You don't know if you're gonna have a chance to do it next year.
Can we have
Yeah,
a
my
roll
word.
call, please, then, Ms. Ariano?
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
No.
Councilman Sarno.
No.
Councilman Fiasco.
Yes.
And Council President Petroselli.
Yes. Okay, where are we at now?
No, okay, now you asked me, I have a resolution, it's not on the document. See how you asked me that?
Okay, all right, okay, so she's gonna read
Resolution
it.
16302, be resolved by the Council of the Borough of Broward County, Union State of New Jersey, hereby set the date for the reorganization meeting of the mayor and council for 2017 for Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the municipal building, 403 South Avenue, Broward, Pennsylvania. Maybe I will take a motion to adopt 16302.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt 16302?
I'll make a motion to adopt 16-302.
Second?
I'll second.
Really, that's unusual.
Roll call, Ms. Ariano?
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin.
Yes.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Fiasco.
Aye.
Council President Petroselli.
Aye.
No, you guys already. Oh. Is it, where are they? Okay, it's done. Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, sorry, is there any new business the mayor and council may have? Okay, Ms. Ariano, please read the payment of claims resolution.
Be resolved that the following claims as approved, B and C are hereby ordered paid and properly signed and verified, and the payment of payrolls as listed is hereby confirmed and ratified.
May I have a motion to adopt payment of claims?
So moved.
Second? Second. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Councilman Kukrow.
Yes.
Councilman Martin. Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Sarno.
Aye.
Councilman Fiasco.
Aye.
Council President Petroselli.
Aye. Okay, the regular meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, November 29th in council chambers at 7:15 p.m. Workshop session to start at 7 p.m. There will be a public hearing in council chambers on ordinance 16-18 on Tuesday, November 29th, 2016 at 7:15 p.m. or soon thereafter. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, great. Okay, thank you.